Alright, so today's lesson is how to make your own wire tool that you can use from home. So a wire tool is basically a wire, and it has a handle on either side. And the reason that you want to have a wire tool, there's several reasons, but the main reason for our purposes is you're going to use it to cut clay. Being that wire tools are expensive, there's some ways to kind of make some simple tools at home for yourself. So our rendition of a wire tool is going to be made with, instead of a wire and two plastic handles, we're going to make it with a string, and really I'm going to show you how to make it with a piece of plastic straw. This is just a drinking straw that I found in my drawer at home. But if you don't have something like this, honestly, you can use anything you want to tie it to. You could even, I went out in my yard and I found just some sticks. Honestly, you could just tie it. You just need something as a handle that you can tie the string to, that you can grab a hold of and stretch it taut so that you can cut the clay. So the way that I did this one is, for this particular one, and I don't know if this is the best string, but you just want to find some thin string. So I have this baker's twine that I'm going to use, and you get quite a bit of it for pretty cheap, so you can get a lot of tools out of this if you want. But you're going to take some of your string, and you're going to want to take a pretty long piece because you're going to be doing some tying and wrapping. So you're going to want to make it longer than you think. You can always cut the ends shorter, but you can't add on. So I am going to take, let's see here, this is probably about 1.5 feet or 2. Yeah, I would say that's probably about 2 feet of twine. And then I'm going to take my drinking straw, and I'm going to just cut off a piece that's probably like 1 inch to 1.5 inches. And then, because I like my handles to be the same size as each other, I am going to hold them next to each other like this. And then I'm going to cut them to be the same length. So once I have my string and my pieces of straw, the way that I made this other one is, just for extra sturdiness, is I had the string go through the straw. So I started by feeding this string through the length of straw, and then brought it to here to tie. And I want a lot of extra bit of tail on this side, and if I don't have enough, I can just kind of pull it through a little bit more. And the reason I want it to have a little bit extra is because then I'm going to try to get that cross of that tie in the middle, and I'm going to wrap it around this way. I can even wrap it around a couple of times if I want, but you have to make sure you have enough left that you can tie a knot. So if you don't have enough left to tie a knot, don't do that. You also could wrap it around twice this way if you want to. My other one that I did, I just did 1 loop, and it seemed to be sufficient, so I'm just going to take that piece and tie it, and this is what's going to hold it firm and kind of keep it in the middle. Again, if you're using something different, like a stick or something, you can just tie it. It doesn't have to go through the middle. The only reason I'm having it go through the middle of the straw is because it has a middle. Then I do a double knot. I can cut this excess off if I want to, but I don't have to. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So again, I'm going to feed it through the straw. Making sure I have enough extra. Do a single tie there. That can kind of help me find the middle. Wrap it around here. And then I can tie it in a double knot. So this is something I just fashioned from things I found in my drawers at home, in my kitchen drawers. So get a little creative, you know, look outside, look in your old toolkit. You can find some things to make this. So I'm just going to cut these extra ends off because, I don't know, they kind of bug me. And then you can use this, keeping in mind this is really only string. It's not wire, so it's not made out of metal, so you're not going to want to crank on this when you pull it through the clay. But it does a decent job. So if I take a chunk of clay here, then I can take my wire tool. Sometimes even if I want it to be shorter, I'll just wrap it around my fingers, but this still gives me a good grip. And then I can pull it through the clay and cut a piece off. So I can use that for faceting, for cutting. It does a good job of taking a chunk of clay off, and it's much easier than trying to rip a big chunk off with your hands.